Welcome back to the podcast. So let's just jump right in. But first, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you like what you're, watching and what you're learning, please don't forget to share, because that's also important. If you find it interesting, okay? Because it does help out our channels when you do things like that, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's just jump right in. The podcast, although what I talk about is spiritual, it's not exactly how I started out, right? I started out talking about myself and my experiences. So, and my little encounters with, the spirit realm. So we can get right back into that. I'm not gonna just only do that, because I still want to talk about certain things that I learned, especially through the universe, like in my dreams and in visions. So I still want to talk about those things, which is quantum physics essentially, or anything else, even alien things. Okay, I've experienced alien things. Let's just put it that way. So I'll still talk about those things, but it's refreshing to go back to what the podcast, or how the podcast originally started, with me just talking about certain experiences. Now with sleep paralysis or leaving your body, I've had those experiences. So there's more than one type of sleep paralysis when it comes to spiritual stuff, right? So one of them is, the one that people typically, let's start with that. They think that, someone's attacking them. I've had that. But let me tell you, yes, you are being, if you think you're being attacked and you see it, no one else can tell you any differently. But they try to say that, you're making that up as you go along, because you're not familiar what's going on with your body when you're trying to go back into your body. But no, you are being attacked. I've seen it for myself. I've seen spirits come in that are just not of this world, If you're religious, and you'll say demons or what have you, but it's just not good spirits, right? And the difference. As I always say, no one else can tell you what you are experiencing. Someone who's never experienced it will be like, well, you're making it up because, and I'm talking about like actual doctors and all these people, you're making it up because this is what's happening. And it's not that black and white, okay? You are the one seeing it, you're the one going through it, and you know how real it is to you. So never let anyone tell you otherwise when you know it's real, okay? And since I've experienced more than one kind, I definitely know that it's real when I'm going through that, because when I can't get back into my body, when I astral project, that's a different experience than being attacked, okay? And you're gonna be attacked though. And then when you really look at it, people who do get attacked a lot are people who have a spiritual calling, or just spiritual in general, okay? Not to separate, but just spiritual in general. You'll get attacked more, or visited more. I haven't been visited in a while, because as I progress spiritually, things change, especially my way of thinking changes. And so it's like you're stronger, and they won't, or they can't try to come over here. You're protected. And knowing that you're protected is also key too. You have to know it, because then if you're not confident enough, they can sense certain things and still come, even if you're protected. So yeah, because it's also up to you, right? A lot of things are still up to you, not just your spirit guides, not just whomever you believe in protecting you. It's also up to you what door you want to leave open when it comes to doubt and other things. All right. And also fear. Like if you have a fear and you just live in that fear, of course your fears they're going to come true. That's how it works. You're fearing something, so you're giving energy to that thing. You're bringing it to life. So we have to release those things so that you can lessen the negative things that happen to you. Moving on to the other one where you do astral project and you leave your body, right? And when you're coming back in, you're aware, your body is aware that it's no longer in that. Okay, so let me explain it better than this. You go into a REM sleep, right? So you release like this chemical that has your body unable to move. Like you aren't able to move, because if you're moving while you're sleeping, you're acting out your dreams, you're doing all these things, very dangerous. So your body is smart, you know, it puts you into this paralyzed state where you cannot move while you're in that REM sleep. Or yeah. So but when you're coming out of that REM sleep and you end up becoming aware, because not everybody's gonna be aware, right? Then you wouldn't, then everybody just be having sleep paralysis constantly. But I'm talking about the moments where you end up being conscious during that time and you're like, oh, I cannot move, and you feel this pressure. Like I'll feel it in my chest, you know, others feel it like in their throat. Like it's just different experiences for everyone. So when you feel like that, it's very uncomfortable. It's a little scary when it first happens to you, right? So that is different. And sometimes you can see your body, the spirit can see their body when they're trying to get back in, or their body can see, your conscious mind can see the spirit trying to come back in sometimes, right? For some people. So that's the other one, but you don't see spirits coming or walking over you. You don't feel that, but that can get confused with that, because that heavy feeling I was talking about, it might feel like someone's attacking you, but it's that I would say, no, you're not being attacked. That's just because you're coming out of that REM sleep, REM, and it's hard. You can't move, and you're aware of that. So it's different. It's definitely different. There are times where I had, one time that was really, really hard for me to get back into my body. Like I thought I was going to be out of it forever. I'm not kidding you. I thought I was done. I was like, oh my gosh, I am dead. My body's just there waiting for me to come back in, and I cannot get in. It took a very long time, but I'm back in my body. But yeah, it's a little scary at times to do that. But now, speaking of astral projection, I can do it to a certain degree, right? So I can send my spirit somewhere, but I can't see where I'm going. I can't see that I've made it to where I've sent it. So the person would tell me, like I practice this with my friend all the time, Danny. So I would say, I'm going to go visit him tonight. But if I let him know, then it's kind of like cheating. So not all the time I would let him know. I wouldn't let him all the time. So I would send my spirit there, and then I would ask, hey, anything happened? Or he would come over and just, hey, you visited me. So he'll tell me. So I haven't mastered it to the degree of me just being able to see things, which is strange. I've tried really hard to do that, but that's the one thing I can't do. But I can send it. It does go. I just I'm not aware. I can't remember it. And that's the only issue I have when it comes to astral projection, just not remembering, but I actually do make it there. Leave a comment below how your astral projections, how successful you are, and what do you see or have you seen when you do it. And I know people see cords from like their stomachs, I believe, their bellies, like umbilical cords, and some from their heads, but most people I know, they say it's from their bellies. And that cord to the body is important, because that's what keeps you tethered to the body. So let me know your experiences. I would love to know. And there are times where, I may not have seen me go to the location, but I see me coming back. That's why when I'm coming into my body, I see that. I see the leaving, I see the coming back in, but I don't remember the full experience of me going to that particular person that I send my spirit to go to that night, where I set my intentions. So it works to set your intentions because the person will confirm, but I just haven't seen the actual me making it to that person. But other times when I'm not setting an intention to go any place in particular, I do see those. Does that make sense? I do see those, but I don't see my actual spirit. So I don't see the cord. I'm trying to make sense. I see myself trying to come into my body as the spirit, but I don't see, or I can see my spirit there, but I don't see a cord. But as I'm traveling, I hope I'm making sense. I don't see my spirit self. So I don't see any cords, right? So I hope that makes sense, that even though I see myself coming and going, I don't see any cords in that moment. So I'm wondering if there's a cord for me. But then I wonder if you only see that when you're traveling. That's why I want to hear your experiences, because mine is not as others. I don't see any cord when I'm coming into the body and when I'm leaving the body. And there are times where I don't even see my spirit at all when I'm leaving. I just feel it leaving. And it's like, it feels like when you're just, when you're just going up. Well, that doesn't happen in real life, right? So how about when you're dropping from someone? You're just jumping from a long distance and you're just whoosh. I don't know how to explain it. It's like when someone takes off to fly in a movie. That's how it feels. Like someone grabs me out of my body and I'm just shooting up like a rocket into the sky. All right, so that's how it feels when I'm not even seeing my body leaving, but I do see the sky. I actually do see the sky. When it first happened to me, when I did not see my body, my spirit self, and I felt like I was being grabbed and taken up, I saw the sky for a moment and I just closed my eyes and kept it closed. It was very scary. But when you start to get used to these kind of things, it doesn't become scary anymore. I hope I made sense earlier. I know that can be confusing because I'm like, well, I don't see myself go to the person, but I'm seeing myself coming and going and I don't see a cord. And of course, it doesn't happen every time you're coming out of that REM sleep, because there's plenty of times where, because I'm in a REM sleep, the spirits, like to talk to me at that moment. I've had them talk other times, but in that moment, they speak the most. And so I'm hearing their voices literally talk. So yeah, I don't feel sleep paralysis in those moments. So it doesn't always happen where you're going to feel that heavy feeling or strange feeling, it doesn't always happen that way. Trust me. So when they're talking, there's plenty of times where I get up and go, can you not do that? Because sometimes they're joking around and I'm trying to sleep and I'm already a light sleeper and it's hard to even fall asleep for me. So I actually talk to them that way because it's like, how dare you come and interrupt my sleep? I'm trying to rest and you're just joking around. So I do talk to the spirits like that and then they'll stop. So I think I'm gonna end it here. I just want to share my sleep paralysis story. I had no idea I was gonna talk about sleep paralysis. I just started talking and this is where it led me. I think I might do that more often because, it's already natural when I do talk to you guys about a certain topic that I already set up because I'm just talking, but this was even more. This was really spontaneous. So I'll stop there because I always say, guys, interact in the comment section. Like it's good to do that because I get to answer any questions you may have and I get to learn from you too. I'm not saying I'm some guru walking around here. I'll learn from you guys as well. So yeah, let me know how your nights go. All right. Until the next podcast, guys. And like I said, when I get guests, I can build more on the topics. It'll be more of a back and forth. I might even bring you guys on as guests if you'd like. So like I said, this is what I'm saying. Interact in the comment sections so I'll know, who's interested in doing something like that. I believe everybody's story or has a story to tell, and I won't dismiss it because you're not someone that's popular out there. That's ridiculous. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody's special. All right. Until next time, guys, don't let me go on a rant. We know I can go on rants. All right. I'm out.